baby.
I'm done.
That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored.
They did it.
Left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah!
What the fuck are you talking about?
All right, fam, what is up? We are back. Another episode of the Weekly Roundup. I'm your host, as always, Steve Rochelle, being joined by this guy to my right, Mr. Zach Burr. Zach, how we feeling this afternoon, brother?
Well, we're frustrated because, I mean, simple, like every fucking week something goes wrong on the goddamn show. Like this week I can't even get the fucking phone to charge correctly.
All right, let's be fair. I think Zach is fired up this week. Let's do this thing. As always, the Weekly Roundup is sponsored by EXP Realty LLC. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, you're looking to change your career brokerage, contact Alan Foy over at EXP Realty LLC at 302-682-8820 or visit him at Alan Foy at exprealty.com. All right, well, what else are you fired up about this week? I know you're fired up about your phone. What else has got you going, brother?
Everything. But I mean, I can't worry about anything else if I can't get the fucking phone to charge the way I need to, Steven, because we ain't going to have a fucking show for me to get fired up on.
Oh, you'll be right, Zach. You'll get it straightened out, brother. Don't worry about it.
I really don't think we will. Every goddamn week something fucking happens. Somebody needs to buy me a goddamn laptop for Christmas, I'm telling you.
Zach was going to start a GoFundMe for a laptop. There we go. That'll be the next giveaway. We'll get a donation. We'll go a donation for Zach.
No, don't you do it. Oh, Jesus.
All right. Well, let's get into.
I don't want to like the people to like be like, what the fuck's going on? If I end up going in and out, there's reasons for that. It's because my phone is fucking up. It doesn't work. But anyway, my phone not working properly on another week-to-week basis. Brought to you by.
Who's your company? Who's your cell phone provider? Who's the cell phone provider? No.
My cell phone provider is Metro, piece of shit.
All right, but the poll question that we're gonna hop into is brought to you by Gleason's Bar, which is located at 7600 Mill Creek Avenue over here in Levittown, PA. Use that promo code AE2D for 10% off your order wherever you dine in, take out, or online at Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com. And as far as our poll question, are you ready for it, bro? Are you ready for it? Because it's been a rough week for them, the Sixers. Do you believe the Philadelphia 76ers will have a winning record after the 6-game road trip? Agreed, disagrees. Looking rough right now against the Pacers. Then I think like 10 plus there right now. I don't know how you feeling it, brother. How you feeling it?
Well, they're hurt and banged up and I guess got guys out on COVID protocol, whatever the fuck, whatever you want to call it. The bottom line is they've got guys missing, their best players missing. So, that's what's led to them going through a little bit of a rough, go of it at the moment. But one of the things that's come out of it is the elite play of Tyrese Maxey, who I will toot my own horn a little bit about, since I was getting blasted in our own chat room for months and months and months last year. We're talking about how much of a superstar the kid was eventually going to be. And all these people are like, he's going to be a superstar. Just like Jaylen Hurts is going to be the next Tyrod Taylor. Yeah. Uh-huh. I know. Zach doesn't know what he's talking about. Ever does he, Steven?
No, I'm definitely with you. On the thought that that Maxey can handle the workload that Ben Simmons was already giving us. A little bit better shooting, maybe a touchdown or two on the defensive side of things. But overall, I think he's shown so far that he's doing what he needs to kind of take those minutes and keep those minutes right now. I don't see a reason not to. Do you at this point in time? Like obviously you're one of the guys that were already high on him, but are you liking what you're seeing out of the first 10, 12 games so far?
Yeah, well, he was going to have a breakout year this year regardless. So this whole idea, this was bound to happen regardless of what happened with Ben Simmons. This was going to happen either way. So the Ben Simmons situations just kind of helped accelerate. Tyrese Maxey's path to a superstar. Yeah, I know. I combined words. Shut up.
You got tongue twisted like a mo right there, bro.
Well, because I was trying to say Tyrese Maxey's path, but like I threw the words together because we all know my mouth moves quicker than my brain, and words didn't actually sync up correctly, and it almost sounded like I said Maxey pad, which would have been like Maxey pad. Oh. So whatever. But Tyrese Maxey's path to being a superstar has been accelerated by the fact that Ben Simmons obviously isn't in the picture now. So, that's a part of it. But I always said we missed an opportunity. Remember last year I was bitching about the fact that I thought we missed opportunities by not playing them on the floor together. And I think that, you still, like that was, we could have seen this last year if you would have committed to Maxey playing more of the one and allowing Ben Simmons to play more of the four. You could have committed to this and seen a lot of it then. And it's taken until now because it's taken now for him to get this many minutes. But I mean, you're talking about a 1-2 punch, the 1-2 punch that we thought Ben and Joel Embiid were, 3 years ago. I think that's the 1-2 punch that Maxey and Joel Embiid are going like. It's we have a 1-2 punch. It's just not the 1-2 punch we expected it to be, right? Like the two superstars that we expected to be the core of all this, that's changed. But still, I mean, the league, you need 2 or 3 superstars on a team to go win. Maxey's got superstar written all over him. So
now I'm going to get back to this road trip, brother. What are you feeling on? Obviously, we're down, 70-60 at the half to the Pacers. You got the Jazz Tuesday, the Nuggets Thursday, Trailblazers Saturday, Kings, and the Warriors to round it out. You think they're above 500 after this trip?
I mean, it's just tough to say. You're early in the year. That's a tough road trip to go have early in the year. It's it all depends on how healthy they are, throughout the that trip as far as how many minutes each guy's playing and all that. I'll say they're above 500 just because I think they're a good enough team. They'll find ways to win games on the road even though it's a long road trip. Yeah, that's bad teams go on long road trips and go, oh God. Oh. Good teams go on long road trips and go, hey, like, where's the good place to eat in that city? That's
all right. What way I'm feeling is like, all right, we're like I said, we're down 10 at the half of the Pacers now. That's always a tough game for us. Even with our full stars on deck. But Jazz, Nuggets, Trailblazers, Kings, Warriors. I'll say no. Just on the simple fact what we're already talking about, where how we're looking for who's missing this, that, and the third. But I still don't think that's going to determine the outlook moving forward. I still think that this team is still a 50+ win basketball team. We'll see what happens. See if they can get a few more wins there. Obviously, they've already dropped a couple over the last week or so, but. With that being said, let's get over into some of the comments, and our first comment is sponsored by All Campus, and they're giving us 20% off everything in the store, including hats, t-shirts, and our team cornhole sets. And for all the subscribers, fans, make sure you're checking All Campus out, and we have Mr. Brink in there. He don't think that they're gonna have a winning record to play the good teams. Not having replacements for Ben's gonna catch up with this team. What are you feeling on that? Brink's right or wrong? Where'd you go? Now we can't hear you. Oh, there you go.
Matisse Thybulle's become a very good replacement for Ben. So, and at this point, I mean, it got to a point where Ben was giving you so little offensively that wasn't like Matisse Thybulle could do much to give you any less. So, I think he's stepped right into the Ben Simmons role on this team. And to be honest, he's a better defender than Ben Simmons. So,
what's up, Michael? Yeah, it's 70-60 in Indianapolis at the half, brother. We'll see what happens when they start it back up here in a few minutes. What do you feel? You think that this is an L here tonight in against the Pacers?
Yeah, I mean the Pacers have been playing pretty well. They beat the Jazz the other night, so lost money on the Jazz because of that. So not real happy about it, but it is what it is. And the Pacers have been playing pretty well. Yeah, got some momentum, beating good basketball teams, and I know. The Sixers, ever since Embiid went out, in my betting chat room, have been a very sexy, popular pick. Everybody that the Sixers have been playing, it's immediately, hey, no, they're playing the Knicks tonight. Bet the Knicks. Got to bet on the Knicks. They're playing the Knicks without Embiid. Bet on the Knicks. That type of thing. And it's been a good strategy, right? They've gotten cold and losing teams like the Raptors. That hurts you. Like, hey, we can't beat the Raptors. What are the Raptors? What do they got? Freddie Van Fleet, is he their best player? Remember the Van Fleet center? Or was that just the Fleet Center? The Fleet Center, not the Van Fleet.
What's up, Bryce?
Fred Van Fleet. Every time you can't say that name without thinking of like Nick Van Exel or Keith Van Horn. You're just like, you're never going to be able to live up to those guys. Like,
so Jake feels they're 500 at the end of this road trip. So we got another one on board there with you, Mr. Friel.
Yeah, I'm going to have to turn the phone off again here soon, Steven. Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. You need to do something with your devices there, brother.
Bro, it's literally got an arrow that points to the right in the charging section. So instead of it charging, I don't even know. It's saying that it's using the power supply, but I don't even know what the fuck that means. This is what I get for shopping with Metro, piece of shit.
You just gotta use your phone smartly sometimes when things like that happens. Gotta have a full bar when you're ready to do this thing, brother.
I have to go umpire on Saturdays. So unless you're gonna unless I can start charging my phone into like a fucking tree,
Oh, just turn it off. You don't need it while you're in the umpire.
Yes, you do. What are you talking about? I need to time things. I need to call our tournament director if coaches get crazy and I have to eject them and shit. It's fucking annoying. Then you got to check football scores because we all know him as degenerate. So,
see, you have to curb your degenerate.
No, I will not curb nothing.
There.
Yeah, I will curb your enthusiasm.
You curb my enthusiasm. We're gonna bring that into this.
It's a good show, Larry David. Creator of Seinfeld, good stuff.
Yeah,
oh my God.
That never felt that one, brother. I don't know. I never felt that. It was never feeling Seinfeld? That. Neither one of them. Curb Your Enthusiasm or Seinfeld.
You're ridiculous. Seinfeld is brilliant stuff.
I didn't say it wasn't brilliant. I just said I never felt it like that. Like there are some episodes I'd watch, but there's just one just nah.
Come on, you can't tell me like Kramer characters like that.
I didn't say like the characters weren't interesting or anything like that. Just I guess it's and then when they start bringing like freaking the sports guys in it with the freaking little freaking bald headed knucklehead. He's freaking Steinbrenner stooge or some yeah, no. Just didn't feel it.
Yeah, I love when he ends up with the Yankees and like he's giving them advice on hitting that stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm like really we're gonna go on that far out of a limb.
Remember he recommends that they the cotton shirts are too hot. They're using cotton and it's too hot, so he wanted them to have like a different material for the shirts.
Oh man! All right, they're starting to back up again. So there we go. What do you like in this? Like you said, you feel it's an L tonight, but I don't know. I still think you're getting a strong game out of Tobias already tonight. You get one or two more of these guys to turn it up in the second half. They can very well turn this thing around. They're only down 10 right now, right? So, well. Your phone's going up into the ceiling again?
Yeah, because I don't want you guys to see me trying to fuck around and fix it. I'm off 4%, Steven, because it won't charge.
This guy.
Have you ever plugged your charger into your phone and it's done something else to your phone besides charge it? I've never had this happen before, but here we are.
Yeah. Why don't you get wifey's phone or something?
I'm going to have to, I guess. Oh, okay. I'll be back.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to hold it down for a minute or so.
You can handle it, Steven. You can handle it. You can be a big boy and put your big boy A2D pants on and make it happen.
You'll be back in a few. You better be.
Yeah.
I'll freaking kill you, dude. Freaking 4%. This guy and his freaking technology.
You know what?
Oh, just hit that.
Buy a new phone at some point. It's so ridiculous.
He keeps hitting threes like that, and they ain't coming back for this. Oy. Hitting what? I didn't even see what the graphic was right there. Missed it. But let's see how we're gonna see the rest of this play out. Sixers another bad possession. No, but yep, there you go. There you go, Danny Green with a nice turnover there. That's what I like to see there. There you go. Zach's son Maxie right there with the nice bucket. Got to take it there. Now it's 73-62. See our Sixers come back, make a run here at the beginning of this, and make it more of a game. We'll see. I'm hoping for it. Can't you got to contest that rebound. There. All right, there you go, Drum. There you go, pushing it up the green. Getting it back down the court. Let's see what we do here. It wasn't Green. It was Harris. My bad. But looks like Harris draws the foul. Looks like he'll get two there. Maybe got away a little bit of a walk. We'll see. Harris going the line for his shots now. Let's see if he can get both of them. Gets the first one. All right, 67-73. Pacers got the ball now. Another nice turnover right there. There you go. Or was it timeout foul? What happened here? See how long it takes Mr. Bird to get back. What would be the bet for that? Anyone wants to take numbers on that? See how long it takes Zach to get back. All right. So looks like a break in play here as we get the first set of three throws for Drummond, and 65-73. Then they're crawling back in it. Slicing it up, crawling it back in. What do you got? Drummond's already – this will be 6 points. Misses the second free throw. The score is now 73-65. Indiana has the ball now, and it's 75-65 back to a 10-point lead for Indiana with 8:23 left in the third. Indiana's killing us in the paint, was it now? They just put up 38-22 in the paint. Are we missing Joel Embiid bad or what? I can say we are. Looks like one of the Pacers are going back into the locker room, so he might be getting looked at or might be done for the night. Let's see how we go here. Danny Green with a nice layup, cutting it back to under 10 points here. What about you, fam? What are you feeling? Give us your thoughts. Who wins? Who's taking this one tonight? Are the Sixers going to come back in this one? What are you feeling? They're gonna get some road cooking tonight. Tobias with a beautiful jam right there. Is that a? Are they going to count that or no? Don't look like they are. Nope. What I miss? Another turnover. So it's about even in that department too as well. Where we looking at turnover department? It's freaking 9-9. Yeesh. I'm still trying to figure out why they did not let the Harris one count. I don't get that one. You got me there. Getting murdered with threes in that corner too. Now it's 78-67 after Indiana just hit that three. See what Maxey and Harris and the guys can do right now. Shoot it here. See how it goes. Net. Tommy, you're gonna agree to pull. Let's win some games. Yeah, we'll see, man. Like you got Indiana right now. Giving us some business right now. You got the Jazz coming down in the next few days as well. Got to put some wins together, guys. Got to steal some on this trip. I think, let alone on the trip alone, you should try to at least come out above 500. You want to get at least 3 or more out of 6. Anyone want to put a number to that one? Out of the 6, I don't know. To figure out how long it's going to take Mr. Bird to return. I don't think. We don't know. As we're on that commercial break for the Sixers, I guess. Let's see here. Man. Burrito. getting ready to come back from break now. So let's see what the Sixers are going to do for us. Moving 78, 67. What about 6:44 left in the third? So let's see what they're going to do. Who do y'all want to see step up in the second half? I know, like I said, Zach's in love with Tyrese Maxey. We've already seen Tobias do his thing. We want to see a Curry run here, get that three ball going, try to get some momentum going back in the Sixers way. I mean, gotta do something here, right, fellas? Let's see what happened with Danny Green and his foul shots here. The first one cut it back to 10. What up, brother?
I hate my fucking life. Like, really, fucking hate everything about it. You want a goddamn rant, Steven? You want a goddamn rant? I'm about to give you the motherfucking rant of the goddamn evening, Steven. Okay?
Oh, boy, here we go.
Goddamn rant. Got a phone on 3% doing some type of firmware update. Look at the hell. I don't even watch porn on the goddamn phone, and it's doing some type of like firmware update as if there's some type of fucking virus or something. I don't even know what the hell that fucking means. It's stupid. Now it's on 3%. It's gonna die. I need to Uber to my baseball tournament tomorrow. And then like, what if my assigner has to call me, or like my partner or somebody has to call me that I work with, and they can't get a hold of me, and I look like an asshole. I fucking hate my life. Thank God we have the weekly roundup and agree to disagree, and all of the family here to fucking rant with every weekend, because, oh man.
Thanks, wifey, for having a phone too.
She just said from the other room, "You're welcome for being able to use my phone." So.
I can thank him. Never had to ask the other half of her phone to do a show.
Tom, you're here, okay? You better buy me. You want your boy to be able to contribute more to HUD Radio. You better buy your boy, okay? Santa Tom better bring Zach a fucking laptop for Christmas, okay? That's what Santa Tom needs to bring Zach. If you want your boy to be more involved with the HUD platform and making all this shit happen, I can't do it on my punk ass phone from like 1997. I swear to God, Noah Eaton's got a better phone than I do.
I'm gonna leave that one alone. We'll leave that one alone. But 69-79 with about just under 6 minutes left.
Steven, you said 69.
Yeah, 69, 78.
Sometimes I like to bet $69 on my sports bets just because it's 69, and you gotta like giggle at the idea of betting. Like, it's funny. I just bet $69.
What are you still like 16, dude?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
Oh man, Zach.
People want to like, oh, when the umpire, like, oh, like you're so good with kids. That's because I am a kid. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're gonna be such a great parent. You're so good with kids. Well, that's what happens when you're like 30 going on 10 at all times. Like,
with that being said, Zach is back. Do you want to touch on anything else on the Sixers? Now they cut it down to 8.
I'll touch on everything on the Sixers. The Sixers. Oh, what a mess. This is what happens in Philly, Steven. Even things that have the potential to be nice things turn into this shit show.
All right. Well, let's hop into another topic. With that being said, our next segment is brought to you by Manscaped. Make sure you guys are heading over, get 20% off for free shipping with that code HUD over at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Let's get ready to talk some football. Let's get ready to talk some Eagles. a lot has happened. This last week. I know, Mr. Burr. He's brimming. Let it go, Zach. Go.
We're in a perfect mood to talk the Eagles. Good Lord. Just what I need for my triggered anxiety at the moment. Some Eagles talk. Oh.
Well, how about this? How about OBJ getting out of Cleveland, made it through waivers. Everyone, had their ideas and thoughts where he's going to be. Deshaun Jackson cries his way out of there, winds up in Oakland, and some weird chance OBJ is now a Ram. He's going to get even more snaps with the news today. But go ahead, brother. Get it out. I know you're ready to go.
Who else called that one last week while we were live with our guest? Zach's just been on a roll. I'm really going to start doing this. I was remaining humble, Stephen, but I'm not really in the mood to be humble right now. I think about how long I've been humble. I just let all the trolls try to troll me. Right? I let them come out from under the little rickety bridge and try to troll me, with all the stupid things that they were convinced I was saying. The stupid takes about Jaylen Hurts, and the stupid takes about Tyrese Maxey, and all these things. And guess who's getting the last laugh right now? Guess who can't even speak straight because he's so goddamn irritated? That's me. But it doesn't matter because I get to laugh at all the trolls who are now hiding under their Ricky Bridge. Where are they today, Steven? They went back under their bridge because Zach has been on fire as of late with all of his predictions. I said it last week live on this show. OBJ to the Rams.
Yeah, you did, brother, and he's in a spot because Woods has an ACL issue. He's gonna get that taken care of. I'm sure they're gonna miss him, but obviously, bringing another old stallion into your barn ain't like OBJ ain't gonna hurt. I mean, it's actually like the ideal situation because all there was going to end up being is a lot of talk about. You got all these receivers, all these weapons, and guys taking snaps away from each other, and yada 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 yada. And now you don't even need to worry about that. It's like like Robert Woods and everything he was in your offense. Oh no, what were we going to do? Robert Woods blew his ACL out. Oh, it's amazing how we just happened to sign somebody that's probably like, an already better, in his career, he's been a better player than Robert Woods. And hell, it's like, you can't convince me that OBJ just stopped forgetting like how to play football. Like all of a sudden, like the dude just forgot how to be an elite wide receiver. He's not 30 yet, is he? He's not even 30. I think he's still like 27, 28 years old. You know what I mean? Like they'll go see you don't just like at 25, 26 forget how to play wide receiver at an elite level. You know what I'm saying? That's not a thing. So I still think he has that in him. But, he seems to have always kind of been like a weirdly, like we talk about all these players in sports that are kind of like they're just wired mentally in like weird ways. And OBJ's just always been kind of a guy that's wired in weird ways. Kyrie Irving's a guy that's really irrelevant at the moment that we're talking about that's, wired. He's just wired differently mentally. It's just out there. He thinks that he's a flat earther. Like things are just not like he doesn't think like normal people. He doesn't get motivated like normal people. There's a lot there mentally that kind of like, it's hard to tap into. And I think OBJ's always kind of been one of those people. You saw it with like all the temper tantrums in New York and all the nonsense that went on there. But when he was throwing temper tantrums and literally, being accused of being a bad teammate and being a prima donna and all these things, that's when he was having, 1,100, 1,200, 1,300 yard receiving seasons and was, top 5 receiver in football. He goes to Cleveland and behaves himself. Zeus, it's 84-37 now with just under 5 to go. What's up, Greg?
What's up, Greg Milekovich? Mr. Milekovich, the Gregster.
That's a hell of a last name. So now here's another one on the NFL side of things before we start laying into these Eagles, right?
All right.
Where do you feel that's going to put the Rams in the hierarchy of how things kind of look like they're going to pan out towards the like? Did that kind of now kind of puts them in that interesting spot? That first off, that NFC West is going to be an absolute slugfest to get out of. First,
and you know what? And you know what? To be honest, like obviously the Rams are going for it, right? They feel like the window is now. And we knew that as soon as they traded for Matthew Stafford. But they've done nothing like then they went and got Von Miller. Like they just continued to try to get better in all these different little ways. And I mean, if we're really being honest, like OBJ could turn into his superstar self again with the Rams, with Matthew Stafford throwing him the football, and then you look at it and you go, that offense is already filthy. It's already really, really hard to stop, right? And then you had a guy like OBJ who, in his, if he can get back to an elite level, you're just like, yeah, good luck, right? And then on top of it, they don't have any draft picks, so it's not like they're just going to how do you go win a Super Bowl? You don't just blow that all up and suck. So they're going to invest money to bring a lot of these guys back. Like OBJ is almost in a position where you do well, you kind of walk in here. Everybody kind of likes you. Listen, whatever, all this shit they talk about this guy, we don't care. We love the fact that he's a part of this team. He's a great player for us. Big part of our Super Bowl run. We think he's a great, locker room guy. We don't care what people say about that. And he's kind of auditioning for the ability to be able to sign long term in the offseason, with an organization that, he went to Cleveland. It's when he got there, Cleveland was still, it's where careers went to die sort of place, right? And they've been trying to climb the way out of that over the past couple of years, but it was bad and ugly when he first got there. I think he's one of those guys. It's like when Randy Moss went to Oakland, and it's you're in this just abyss of just negativity and just complete and the guy's not motivated to show up and play football, at a high level every day. And maybe OBJ was going through a little bit of that in Cleveland. I'm not, they've said he's wired mentally. Does it make him soft? I don't know. These guys a lot of them are prima donnas because they're pro athletes and make so much money. But he's obviously in a position in LA that he wants to be in. He's motivated to be there. He wants to play well. And, he can get a ring, at the very least, right? Even if he doesn't get a long-term deal and become one of the highest paid receivers in football again, he could get a ring out of it. But I think all these people talking about, oh yeah, okay, great. And then in the offseason, the Eagles could sign him. The Eagles aren't signing OBJ. Just stop it with your nonsense. You really can't. Howie Weasel and OBJ would not get along at all. Are you kidding me right now?
Need a comeback. 88-75 time. I don't know if comeback is in the cards tonight. Do you? You feeling that, bro?
No, I'm not feeling this. The comeback, I mean, this is one of them come back to the house and have a few beers on your couch through the night after, that's the only comeback that you're doing. You're coming back to the couch after this disappointing loss and drinking your sorrows away.
Your
Cheers.
sorrows. Gotcha.
The sorrows, isn't that you drink your sorrows?
No, just how you enunciated that sounded like sards.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But to say, Steven, you're old. I thought drinking your sorrows away was that was from your generation.
I think it was kind of the generation before me, but doesn't everyone kind of do that?
Well, yeah.
I mean, we're not really going to just sit there and pick a particular generation, but
you grow. Well, you always grow up kind of I don't know. Now you kind of say the phrases all that. I grew up in the '90s and shit that was being said in the '80s was still very cool when I was growing up in the '90s, sort of shit. You know what I mean? It just was. We watched all of our older siblings and shit, I guess, do it, so it became one of those things. It was still in and hip when we did it.
So. Now let's hop into the actual Eagles. Let's start off with anything you want to touch on, comment on, get anything about last week's game against those Chargers. Tough loss. Obviously, you tie the game up and then just watch the Chargers walk down the field and get the game winning field goal. It's rough.
Yeah, I mean, and kind of, when you asked me last week, hey, what do you think? Can the Eagles win this game? And I kind of said, I couldn't bring myself to stay. I thought they could win the game, right? I said, I think they'll keep it close. I think it'll be, if we play well, we can keep it close. It'll be one of those games we're right there at the end, but I just don't see us winning it. Seemed to really kind of play out. I remember watching the end of it being wow, this is almost yeah, this is exactly how it played out in my head when I was talking about it yesterday. Kind of saw it exactly this type of,
late game situation, 28-24, 27-24, 24-21 type of thing. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking somebody wins with a late field goal, a late touchdown sort of thing, and that's what happened. But I tried to tell you at the beginning. I don't think this. I think the organization, for whatever reason, all these people in this fan base that talk the way that they do and talk up Myles Sanders the way that they do, I don't think the organization views the kid the same way. Whatever it is about him, there's something about Myles Sanders that the organization has decided we aren't going to sign him to a long-term extension. So what's the point of having him in our game plan? I don't really know. But I mean, that's what it seemed to be like, because now they're running the football with Jordan Howard and Boston Scott and Kenny Gainwell.
Or do you just feel that now I think Nick Sirianni is kind of getting a more of a feel of what this team can do well?
Because it doesn't take you 10 weeks to 8 weeks, whatever. I mean, it took him way too long.
It shouldn't, but sometimes you also have to find, personnel, what plays work. Like, there's things of that nature that do play a factor to an extent. But I mean, I'm with you. I still with a lot of people, I still feel that they were throwing it an enormous amount of times. I don't feel like Jaylen Hurts should throw the ball more than 25 times. Period.
Yeah, but the problem with what we've gotten to now with it is you're trying to hide Jaylen Hurts. Right? It's let's only have him throw the ball 17 times in a game. Like that's not a franchise quarterback. If your franchise quarterback has to throw the ball less than 25 times in a game, then he's not a franchise quarterback. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I get it. There has to be balance. You can't just run the ball 6 times and expect the throw to be successful. But this idea that, if Jalen's throwing the ball more than 25 times, we're in trouble. Well, then how the fuck are you going to win anything with a quarterback that has to throw the ball like less than 25 times to be successful? And that's just what we're at. Like, you kind of have to, I think what they realized is, we almost have to do this now, because there's never going to be a time where Jaylen can just carry you on his back from a passing perspective. His arm is never going to carry this football team. So you have to find other ways to try to, make it all work. And, case in point, if people want to talk about how good of a red zone quarterback he is, and that's because he runs the ball well down in the red. Literally, the point of being in the red zone is scoring touchdowns, right? Like, you want to get into the red zone and score touchdowns, and being able to run the ball effectively in the red zone is really, it's one of the big keys to scoring touchdowns in the red zone. And he's an effective runner in the red zone, so scores a lot of touchdowns. Yeah, I guess it makes him an effective red zone player. But when you can't make the throw that he should make to Devontae Smith in the corner of the end zone from the 10-yard line, it's just simple NFL 101 stuff. Like, that's just not a throw any even run-of-the-mill NFL quarterback misses. Like, the dude that's been starting for the Texans while Tyrod Taylor was out, Davis Mills, makes that fucking throw. Like, it's just a simple throw. The dude's coming out of his break. He's got to step on the defender. You throw the ball as he comes out of his break. You're 10 weeks into the year. You played in how many games, and you're still late. You're still late on timing routes. The guy's coming out of his break. You can't wait until he's 3 or 4 steps out of his break and then throw it to the corner. It's too late. Throw it as he comes out of the break, lead him to that pylon, to that back pylon, and Devontae Smith's going to catch that, going to win that, with leverage and his ability, to create leverage on routes and all that. Like, he's going to win that 100% of the time if you could just throw a decent ball. No, you can't even throw a decent ball, and you can almost see how dumbfounded Devontae Smith was afterwards. The look the face he made at him and the hand gesture, just dude, just throw the ball to me, just throw it, the fuck are you doing? You could see he was so frustrated with the fact that Jaylen Hurts is such ass cheeks that he can't even run a simple, corner route into the end zone and expect his quarterback to be able to hit him with a pass. It's ridiculous. It's the type of shit like that makes you want to beat your head into a wall. Oh, he's got potential to be a franchise guy. No, he doesn't. Not if he can't make that throw, he doesn't.
Yeah, then people want to keep talking about the numbers. Like, you see people are playing the numbers game again. I'll say one thing, to sit there and say that this is all on Jaylen Hurts is dumbfounding. I've seen a lot of people sit there and say that.
Who's been saying that, honestly? Where have you been seeing that? Who's been saying it's all on Jaylen Hurts? Because I haven't seen that. I've seen a bunch of Jaylen Hurts nut huggers that want to try to sit there and make narrative that there's people that are spinning it, that it's only Jaylen Hurts and nobody else. But I haven't honestly seen that argument been made. everybody that I've seen that's ripped Jalen Hurts has been ripping Nick Sirianni, or at the very least, if they want to be giving Nick Sirianni, some leverage and give him a long leash, they've been ripping Jonathan Gannon and blaming him for the defensive struggles. So, like, I almost want to push the bullshit button with that immediately. That, like, because I really haven't. Like, I don't know if I've ever actually honestly seen that with my own eyes. Somebody saying Jalen Hurts is the only issue with the team. The biggest issue with this team, because whenever you've got a quarterback that's not the guy, it's always the biggest issue with your team. But doesn't mean it's the only issue.
This team's got massive issues on both sides of the ball. And if you had to say anything, I mean, it's safe to say that it'd probably be more on the defense than anything, right?
Right now, yeah. I mean, they've given up. Like, they've had like 6 different quarterbacks. You can just go down the list of quarterbacks that have completed like over 80% of their passes this year. It's just like ridiculous shit. Like, it's almost impossible to be this bad against the pass. It really is. It's almost impossible. I mean, like, I made the joke last Saturday. I was like, Justin Herbert's going to come in here and throw for 450, go throw for 400 and 4 tutties against us. And he almost did. I got laughed off. I don't remember who it was trying to fucking troll me on that one. He's going to throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. I threw for like 370 and 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, hell, that was pretty damn close.
Right.
And I was just trying to be funny, too. Like, I was just trying to be like, he's going to come in and, like, fucking destroy us and have a huge game. And then I was like, damn, like, fuck, now I feel bad. Like, I actually was just trying to be funny by saying he was going to throw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he almost did. And
you're almost spot on.
Fuck. Maybe I should have said he was going to struggle. Throw for like 200 yards and 2 interceptions or something, and now spoken into existence.
Now, what are like as we're tearing them apart? Well, what are some of the positives you took out of last Sunday's game?
Nothing. I mean,
nothing.
Competed. I mean, I don't even like. To me, that's all. Competed. Like, yeah, you competed. I guess like you hung in there till the very end, but like still like. No, at no point did you watch that game and go, "Oh yeah, we're gonna win this one." Like it felt like the same old story, different week. Like, yeah.
It sounded like it looking like the same old story with the Sixers and the Pistons now. It's 94-84. Sixers are hitting it better at the line. They're 84% to 70 or 88 to 74%. I mean, they're down 12 points, and they haven't been able to put a run together and get stops. So, I mean, when you can't get stops, this is pretty much going to be the look of it. I just hit a 3 there.
Wait, who's Turner?
Cork just hit a 3 there. What, Michael Turner?
That's it. That would not be Evan Turner.
You're talking about for the Pacers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Michael Turner.
Evan Turner was like, hold on. No, I cannot have this.
You're having bad old Sixers flashbacks.
Oh, my God. Remember, oh, dude, that was so bad. Remember he was the second pick, and you were just like, this is so awful. I remember there being some type of rumor the offseason that James Harden got traded, like some type of rumor trying to connect like the Sixers, like trying to work a package of Evan Turner, Thaddeus Young, like maybe one other player and like 2 picks or something to like Houston for James Harden or, to Oklahoma City for James Harden. And you're just almost like, oh, like why couldn't you? Like, I don't even like James Harden. But, like, oh, my God, could you imagine, like, trading Evan Turner and Thaddeus Young for James Harden? That'd go down in NBA history. It's like no matter what, what we think of James Harden, if we would have actually made that trade happen, you talk about, like, one of the all-time NBA steals. Fucking trading Evan Turner and Thaddeus Young and 2 picks for James Harden. Oh, it would have been, like, you want to talk like, of course we couldn't because you can't have nice things in Philly, but like it would have been one of those like times where like you would have people like lining up. Who was the GM then? It wasn't Elton Brand. That was before Elton Brand.
What was it? Wasn't that when
we had just got the new ownership? Harris had just bought the team.
Wasn't Larry Brown the GM for a period of time too?
Not during that time. They They did. I think they had an old school executive though of some kind because who was the fucking who was the coach at that time? Then they went to the playoffs, and they played the Bulls the year that Derrick Rose. Doug Collins. Doug Collins is there. A lot of old school guys were in the organization, and he was kind of, I think, him and like one of the old school executives. They were kind of like the de facto GM, but still, like, man, that would have been at least like. Would have been better than like watching Evan Turner and Thaddeus Young and then like the first 3 years of the fucking process completely, with like guys like Jahlil Okafor, like, oh my God, like, oh, remember that lazy sack of crap? Like, good Lord. Take that kid with like the second pick. Like you watch Jahlil Okafor at Duke, you're like, bro, you should roll out of bed and get me 20 and 10 at the NBA level like that. Like you should just be a 20 and 10 guy every day. The only 20 and 10 he was doing was running to the Dunkin' Donuts for the 20 pack of the donuts and 10 like crispy croissant, buttery croissant things or whatever. Jahlil Okafor. My favorite Jahlil Okafor story. Here you go. The better than anything he ever did in Philly at any point as a player. When he first got to Philly, that story of him fucking that girl, and then apparently he came within like 20 seconds. And she blew it up and exposed it on fucking Twitter and social media and shit. And it went viral as hell. Hilarious. Like, absolutely hilarious. Like, no wonder the guy couldn't shoot his shot in, like, the NBA. Dude's nutting in 20 seconds. Bro, you ain't made for the NBA, bro. Fucking supermodels and, like, nutting in 20 seconds and shit, getting exposed on the internet. You're gonna break down in Philly, my man.
You got Bryce going.
See, he remembers that. See, I'm glad I'm not the only one. So, Steven, I need Kentucky to beat Vanderbilt tonight in football in order to win money. And Kentucky is winning 31-3 at the moment in the third quarter. You think we're okay?
I trust nothing.
Vanderbilt's like 2-7, but this would be the day. This would be the night. They come back from a 28-point second-half deficit. The fuck's that over again? I'm telling you, we're going to add a segment to the weekly roundup called "What Fucked Zach Over This Week."
So Bryce wants to get it since we've been going. We've been dancing around. We haven't gotten into this week's game. Denver, are they?
Yep.
Should they beat Denver?
No, I don't think we should. I mean, I think Denver's probably a better team than us. Not probably. Denver is a better team than us. And Denver's coming, they started hot, right? And then they went through that little funk, and you were kind of like, what are they going to be here? Are they just going to be, like, bad again, or what's the deal? They're going to kind of be like the Panthers, start hot and then blow up, like what's going to happen? But then they beat the Cowboys last week, and they looked really good in the process of that. They're a little hit and miss,
Oh, and I know you have to get this one out there. He wants to know about him going to see your guy from Pitt.
Well, listen, people, I'm a big deal. He was there to see Sam Howell too, and Sam Howell is a guy that could be a second or third round pick, possibly not necessarily a first round pick. So knowing Howie, I wouldn't be surprised if he was there to scout the kid that he plans on taking, like again, like just like he tried to take Russell Wilson in the third round 10 years ago, and he took Jaylen in the second round. This is like, for whatever, like I wouldn't be surprised if he was there to because he loves Sam Howell. I love the fact that he's a competitor. Kenny Pickett's not. That's not Howie Roseman's type of QB. Sam Howell is Howie Roseman's type of QB. Tough kid.
Anthony's chiming in. He said he's got Kentucky too, brother.
Yeah, but I mean,
right along your lines, buddy. He says, "Fuck Penn State."
Yeah, exactly. There we go. See, fuck pedophile State University. But no, I mean, listen. I don't know. Did any of y'all watch that Pittsburgh UNC game? Because if you did, Kenny Pickett was slinging it around in the rain. It was downpouring. The dude threw for like 350 and like 3 tutties in the downpour. He's got NFL arm, and I it's funny because me and you talked about it during the week that I was into it. I got into an argument with somebody about it, and whether or not anybody thinks okay, that it's a different. we can agree to disagree about whether or not, like, none of us know if any of these prospects are going to be good, right? But you could at least have fun debates about it. But don't fucking sit there and misrepresent information like the one, Bill Middlebrooks who follows us, who tries to, he's going to be 25. The kid's 23. He's an older senior. He's going to turn 24 during his rookie year. Guess who else turned 24 during his rookie year? Carson Wentz. I believe Joe Flacco turned 24 during his rookie year. Like, it's not like that's not unheard of, especially with quarterbacks. Like, it's just not that crazy of a thing. But somebody I was talking to was like, he reminds me of Matt Ryan, and that's just, like, Matt Ryan's good, but like, if I'm looking to draft a guy in the top 5 or top 10, like, I need somebody elite. Like, you wouldn't be happy with Matt Ryan as your quarterback for like a 10 to 14 year. Like, what are you guys smoking? Like, y'all are like smoking crack if you're not happy with that type of production for that type. Like, I don't know what you want. Like, if you're telling me Kenny Pickett's going to be Matt Ryan, sign me the fuck up. Can I reserve him with one of our top 10 picks? Like, can I reserve the rights to draft him or something? Because if you're literally telling me that's his NFL comp, that Kenny Pickett's going to be Matt Ryan, I'm in. Yeah, he's the best quarterback in this draft class. Absolutely. If he's going to be Matt Ryan, yeah, he's the best quarterback in this draft class. And it's not a bad comp because he does, like, when you watch him play the position, he goes through his reads and his progressions the way Matt Ryan does. He's very, very accurate and efficient with the football, but he's got a stronger arm than Matt Ryan, and he's much better athlete than Matt Ryan. He can tuck it and run and lower his head and run into linebackers and fight for extra yards. He ran for 58 yards a week ago against in the slugfest against they were playing Duke, and it was a little bit of a slugfest. He ran for 58 yards, had a long touchdown, like a 30-something yard touchdown in that game. Threw like a 60, 70-yard deep ball for a touchdown. It was right on the money. Dude didn't break stride. I mean, I think he's probably the most NFL-ready quarterback right now in the draft. The only other guy I would probably say I like at the same level as him is Matt Corral from Ole Miss. And I think when you look at both of them, you say, well, Matt Corral's been coached by Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, right? Somebody that understands how to prepare guys for the next level, has coached next level kids. And Mark Whipple, who I know a lot of people are going to be like, who the fuck is Mark Whipple? Coached for multiple NFL teams, coached for the Eagles at one point, been a long-time NFL assistant, a long-time offensive assistant about the NFL, and in college, former college head coach. So he's got tons of like experience working with prospects at all levels, college, NFL, that. Like, he understands how to prepare guys for that too. He's the offensive coordinator at Pittsburgh right now, the guy that's working with Kenny Pickett. So it's not surprised that, like, you look at like the two guys who you're probably like, yeah, I probably like them the best, and they're also coached by guys that have, NFL pipeline type, resumes. They understand how to prepare guys to go play at the next level. They're not college coaches, right? There's some guys you look at and you're just, he just runs a college system. He's just a college coach. And then there's some guys that you understand that, like Nick Saban, shit like that. Like, when you watch, certain programs, you go, yeah, like, they're preparing guys to be ready to go play for the next level and understand what it takes to go be successful there. So I'm a fan of guys that come out of systems that, are, surrounded by coaches that have that type of track record attached to them.
And 106.94 with about 6.5 to go.
I found it funny too, Stephen, that like
now it's 96 to 106. So
I was almost kind of mad about it, like, because you're like, ew, fuck them, right? But like, I said it last week on the show that I felt like he was my top quarterback prospect, and that like people are like, and I'm like, watch, like there's always like Zach Wilson flew up boards this year, right? Like Trey Lance flew up boards this year, right? Mac Jones, nobody would have thought Mac Jones was going to be a first-round pick, be going into his senior year at Alabama, right? Like, he was just going to be another Alabama QB that had a ton of success in college that, wasn't going to really have, there wasn't going to really be a love affair for at the next level. And there's always guys that shoot up draft boards like that. And I was like, hey, Kenny Pickett's going to be that guy. And then, like, literally, like, on Thursday, I see Mel Kiper, or Friday morning, whatever, I see Mel Kiper over here listing Kenny Pickett as his top quarterback prospect and his 20th overall prospect. And I'm like, son of a bitch. Like, because now anytime I talk about him on the show, people are just going to accuse me of listening to Mel Kiper and Todd McShay and these guys. Like, yeah, just listen to what they say and repeating it. Like, no, those fuckers are listening to what the fuck I say, and they're fucking stealing my fucking content. They're repeating me, goddammit. I know they were listening last Saturday night. I know.
You better be tuning in because we're always having some fun over here, you know, dropping some knowledge, you know, dropping F-bombs because apparently that offends some people's sensibilities.
Oh my god! Because I said fuck. Why did he say fuck? Oh, then I said shit. Oh, you kidding? I said poopy. I can't believe you're offended by poopy. Oh my god! Good lord. By the way, I've been more entertaining in this first hour than I think Mel Kiper and Todd McShay have been combined in the past 20 years.
Now, I guess I should actually say something about this Eagles game before we get ready to switch gears again here.
I like the Broncos in a close game. What do you think?
I think it'll be a close game. It's a winnable game. It really up to if anyone on the Eagles' offensive defense wants to step up and make a difference in this game. If they can or can't, is kind of irrelevant at this point in time. But yeah, I see it within a score. You know, a winnable game, but I think it'll be another one, and they'll just fall short, man.
I think we struggle with teams that have good tight ends. Noah Fant, really, really good tight end for Denver. They've obviously got tons of great receivers as well. Cortland Sutton's healthy, and Jerry Jeudy, I believe, is healthy and playing well for them. They've got a running back that's come out of nowhere. I believe his name's Javonte Williams or something like that. Come out of nowhere and become, really, really on the verge of breaking out as a superstar for them. Not that we've really been bad against the run this year, but we've been atrocious against the pass. But it's like you got Teddy Bridgewater going up against us. I mean, we're really going to let Teddy Two Gloves come out here and sling it? Like, watch Teddy Two Gloves come out here and sling it all over us and have a career day. And you're like, yeah, bro, like, come on. Like, I like Teddy Bridgewater too. Like, that's like, you want to talk about Jaylen Hurts compared? Like, that might be a Jaylen Hurts comp there. Like, what's Jaylen Hurts' future? A Tyrod Taylor, a Geno Smith, a Teddy Bridgewater. Like, listen, if you have a Teddy Bridgewater type career, like, high five. Like, good for you. That was solid. You know what I mean? You made a living in the NFL, had a solid NFL, career as a quarterback. Ain't nothing to be ashamed of. Not everybody's going to be Russell Wilson and, people like that. But, this idea that, the Broncos, why should I not pick the Broncos to win this game after what they did to Denver, after what they did to Dallas last week? I just find it really hard for me to sit here and be like, me justify trying to find a way for the Eagles to win this game. All right,
Angel, explain it. How you disagree with both of us that it's not going to be a close game, that we're gonna win this one? Lay it out for us, brother.
What do you disagree about and why?
Let's hear it.
We're acting like he's about to jump on the microphone and respond or something. Like,
I know, right?
We're in silence for the next 10 minutes.
We'll have to hold it down for him until we can respond.
You think the Eagles are going to win? I have a feeling he's going to tell me he thinks the Eagles are going to win because Teddy Bridgewater stinks or something, yada 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 along those lines. And my answer to that would be Jaylen Hurts stinks. So, what the hell? Teddy Bridgewater stinking have to do with anything? I just want to see Teddy Bridgewater have a career day, just so the "I hate your face" guy can.
Well, he's just elaborating that he thinks we're going to win this one.
I mean, it's possible.
It's possible. We didn't make it. We didn't say they're gonna freaking drop 40 on us and blow us out the water. We just sat there and said, listen, we feel it's going to be a one-score game. Just we're going to be on the wrong side of it again.
It's a solid pick. It wouldn't be. It's not like Denver's huge favorites. I mean, I know. Trying to think. I think Denver's slight favorites, but the Eagles would be very, very popular, underdog pick tomorrow. You try to, I'll tell you how the sports bettors that I know think of it. You're always going to try to identify 2 or 3, upsets every week. 2 or 3 underdogs that are betting underdogs that you look at and go, yeah, they probably are the 3, underdogs with the best chance to pull an upset. rarely ever do you have something like last week where where somebody like the Jaguars beats the Bills. The Bills were minus 1,100 favorites, 11-1 favorites. Like, teams don't usually lose as minus 1,000 favorites. You know what I mean? That's just not a thing. But it happened last week. But we're talking about a team being minus like the good example was the Ravens this past Monday night. The Ravens, I think, were minus 400 favorites, had a favored by 7.5 or 6.5, something like that. But something about that line just seemed weird, Steven. Like, why aren't the Ravens favored by more over the Dolphins, who absolutely stink? Why isn't the money line a little bit bigger? And it was a little bit of a sketchy line. And I was really watching that game thinking I just, for whatever reason, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins keep this game really close and or maybe they're at the end with a chance to win it, because it just kind of seemed like what the line was telling you. It's the line kind of has it as it's almost a coin flip. The Chargers are slight favorites, but the Eagles win. The Broncos are slight favorites, but the Eagles winning wouldn't be. That's not crazy. You just got to play. The right type of football game as far as trying to execute, I guess, because the one, we're worried about the defense and stopping the pass. Okay, fine, but it's not like Denver. Denver's got a really good defense, and you're like, what exactly are you going to do, offensively? This is, I want to, like I said, I think it's going to be a close game and Denver wins, but it could get ugly too because, Denver's got a good enough defense to make you sit there and go, Jaylen just doesn't have the arm talent to really do anything about this, and they're going to find a way to take away, the run game or whatever else is working for us, and then force Jaylen to beat you. And Jaylen's not going to beat you with his arm. He's just not going to do it. He can't. He's just not capable of it. So I think that worries me a little bit. With Denver being that's how they win games, right? They're not going to come out and beat you in a slugfest, but they'll come out and what they did to Dallas last week defensively was really impressive. If they can do that to Dallas defensively, they could definitely do that to us, And people want to talk about how little Jaylen Hurts has turned the ball over this year. That might change this week, or that might change tomorrow. Tomorrow seems like a day where Jaylen Hurts has multiple turnovers, and you lose a game 24-21, something like that, 21-17 even. Ugly, Steven. Ugly. It's close, but ugly.
I don't know.
That just seems to be all the way all of our games are. They're close but ugly, right? We're not we've been in very few games that are
it was
high scoring affairs.
She's correcting you a little bit there, brother.
Well, okay, listen, Angel. All I see is Angel Schaefer. That's Angel's one of those names that can go either way. Unfortunately, we don't have you here, in studio with us. We've never met you. I apologize. Okay. Yes, ma'am. I will remember that from now on.
And I guess
I appreciate the fact that you called me out on that. I actually do. I'm not even mad about that. Good. I appreciate you. I didn't mean to offend you or be I wasn't, I apologize.
It's all good, brother. We're only human at times. We make mistakes. It happens.
Trust me. You join the chat. You'll be a part of the chat room for a consistent enough period of time. It ain't gonna matter what you are. We're just we're family here, and we bust each other's balls no matter what. So that's all that's gonna matter. We love being able to interact with all of our listeners in the chat room and have a great time together. So that's all that matters.
That being said, heading up to this next part of the segment, the next segment is brought to you by Fan Up is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, more win great prizes, and sign up today. Use that promo code HUD for your first 5,000 points and $50 value over at fanup.com. I don't know if you checked it out. Did you happen to see the UFC fights this afternoon?
Yeah, while I was umpiring 11-year-old baseball,
I found a way to watch the UFC.
Or at least check it up on it, man. It was just we had some former guests on. Leah Leston finally made her long-awaited return to the UFC. You know, unfortunately, fell short there, getting that getting stopped late there in the 4th round against Felicia Spencer. You know, no shame there. Been away from the sport for medical issues and everything else for the last 3 years. It's rough getting back in there.
I was watching yesterday. I was watching a Max Holloway documentary of some kind that was just on like one of the local channels, like one of the local Fox Sports channels down here, and it was badass. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, he got his decision again tonight.
He won.
Yeah.
So he's the champ again.
No, he should be one of the guys that's fighting next in line, if you ask me.
Oh, I thought he was fighting for the championship.
I don't think last night. I don't think this was for the championship. Maybe him or Yair were probably fighting for contenderships, but I don't know if that was for the title. I don't think it was for the title.
Okay. No, instead of being able to do that, I got argued with a coach. Steve, I don't know how some of these guys coach. Like, you ever go like watch like this isn't just like normal like rec little league ball or like normal pop water football where just any Joe Schmo dad can coach because he's got the time to volunteer. Like, parents are paying good money for their kids to come play at these elite travel programs. You know what I'm saying? And get like this exposure that they get. You're talking about thousands and thousands of dollars for their kids to play with these elite travel programs. And I wonder how some of these coaches like were given these jobs. Like, none of them have been to like an advanced baseball 101 course of like any kind. Like, they don't know simple balk rules and shit like that. Like, Steven, you remember playing baseball and like the idea like when you were taught baseball as a base runner, if you're going to steal a base, when you see the pitcher's front leg go up, right? That's your signal to be, okay, that front leg's going up. He's about to deliver. I'm taking off the steal, right? I have a pitcher today that lifts that front leg and then freezes it. Like, literally, like he hangs that leg in midair. He freezes it. That's a balk. It's got to be one continuous motion to home plate, right, Stephen? That's literally in the rule book. Once you start your delivery, it's got to be one continuous motion to home plate. So stopping your leg, freezing your leg in midair, obviously would not be one continuous motion. I call a balk, and it's literally like, Stephen, I'm telling you, like, you go to like one advanced baseball clinic when it comes to coaching or umpiring, and it's like the first thing they teach you at one of these advanced clinics is how like a lefty pitcher can't hang his leg because obviously that's deceptive to the base runner, right? The base runner is looking for that lefty's leg to go up and start towards the plate so he can steal. It's like one of the first things they teach you in these advanced, like in any of these advanced classes. And a coach is telling me that I'm wrong, and then he's going to show me in the rule book after the game. And I pretty much said, Coach, if you bring that rule book over to me after the game, I'm going to take it from you and shove it up your ass. And he didn't like that response. So, things kind of didn't really it kind of went a little bit from there. And he was like, how dare you talk to me that way? And I was like, how dare you talk to me at all? Like, type of thing. Like, yeah.
All right. Well, if you didn't catch the UFC today, what about bare knuckle last night? You had Hector Lombard.
Broke out today, Steven. I'll tell you that.
Hector Lombard. All that talk meant nothing as Lorenzo Hunt is now the cruiserweight champion for BKFC.
So who was the dude that they were like weighing in, and the one dude like didn't like make weight, and then the other guy told him he was like talking shit. He's like, oh, and you didn't make weight and this and that, and the guy was like, that sounds like a you problem, bro. Like, he turned it into like it to be like he had such an I don't give a fuck attitude about the fact that I didn't make weight that he turned it into the other guy's problem. He's like, yeah, the fact that I didn't make weight is your problem, not mine. Like, that was like 2 weeks ago. I can't believe I didn't know who they were. I thought you were going to tell me who they were
that was the Montana card. It doesn't matter because anyone who fought on that card apparently is suspended for 6 months because it wasn't 100% sanctioned of under my circumstances. I guess Montana is anti bare knuckle boxing for whatever reason.
Montana, that's weird too, because they're like one of like the top like libertarian states, like where they don't give a fuck, they don't regulate nothing. Like this isn't like John McCain, where like it's not like John McCain's Arizona trying to sit here and make it like very annoying. That was always weird to me. Like John McCain served in like the military. Like don't they fight for fun? Like they put on gloves and like box for fun in like the barracks of the military. And he's over here having a problem with the UFC. I never understood that. It's so weird to me.
What's up, Pete? Nah, but I mean the co-main on that fight last night, they had you had Luis Palomino continue to wreak havoc over there as Luis Palomino.
Luis Palomino.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he beat that win. And remember that. Him and
he beat that wimp for a moment. I was like, "Who's that wimp?" He beat that wimp. I was like,
that win.
Yeah, I know who that. I remember that win. I know. I've seen him.
But on another note, we had two former guests fighting each other last night. As you had Britton Hart, aka Britton Beltran, going against Pearl Gonzalez.
That would have been weird. I should have thrown money on. I should have thrown money on one of them just to piss the other one off, sort of thing, and been like,
"No, they don't get that made about it, dude. They don't get that made about it." I mean, other than that, I mean, I think with that being said, I mean, I would like to see Britton and Christina Ferreira run it back. That was like one of their first few fights in Big AFC. Marcus Thomas is in the house. Appreciate you hopping in, Marcus. Well, how you feeling,
Marcus?
How you feeling for tomorrow, Marcus? You feeling a dub from our boys or not? We're still feeling it as an L, kind of along the lines of last week. What are you feeling like?
Is Jaylen Hurts still a rookie asking for a friend? No, I'm kidding. I didn't. That was
no.
We're just having fun, Marcus. You know how like we like the bust balls. I've been drinking. I'm sorry. I'm not responsible for my actions.
Just because you're drinking, you're not responsible for your actions. Oh man, I can have some fun with that one.
Let's be honest. I don't do anything responsibly, but it's the only way to live life, Steven.
There's a shot with all these injuries and COVID, so obviously.
Who's got COVID on the Broncos?
Now you're gonna make me look that up, aren't you?
Yeah, now I'm into it because I didn't know. Like, see, that might change my opinion on it. Like I said, I didn't know that they had people hurt and all that.
All right, let's see something real fast.
The guy from Kentucky, he broke his finger. That wasn't good.
They placed their guard Austin Schotterman on the COVID list a day ago.
Okay. I mean, we don't rush the quarterback anyway, and So,
and the Broncos offensive coordinator's out.
Yeah, Pat Shermer. Yeah, but
that doesn't mean anything. He can freaking
And the guy that's going to call plays, Mike Shula, the quarterback's coach, was the offensive coordinator in Carolina under Ron Rivera when they went to the Super Bowl and Cam Newton won an MVP award. So it's not like this guy is like, oh, well, this dude literally was calling plays in Carolina when they were going to the Super Bowls and winning MVPs. Like, that's a very, very solid coaching staff.
In the beginning of the week, they had a few more guys on there too.
Hey, Steven.
Yup.
Am I crazy for starting to think that Byron Leftwich would be like a phenomenal head coaching candidate in Philly?
Are you completely out on Sirianni already?
I was already. I mean, listen, I did this shit with Doug Peterson year one, and then he saved his job at the end of the year. But my point with this is, and this is what I said about Doug Peterson year one. Remember, we started the year like 2-1, and then we went on like a 7-game losing streak or a 9-game losing streak in 2016 at some point, and it was one of those things. Late in the year, we went on like a 7-game losing streak, and you're like, you don't get to go on like 9-game losing streaks to end your season and keep your job. Like that's not something that happens. Like. If you end your season on a 9-game losing streak and it's that ugly, people usually lose their job. Then it turns out people were about to lose their job that offseason. Frank Reich and people like that, if it wasn't for Carson Wentz stepping in.
Marcus is with you.
And we end up having that Super Bowl run and all that. But yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it as like I've always loved Bruce Arians. Byron Leftwich been somebody that, literally retired in the Steelers organization, then got his start, kind of they were grooming him for a coaching career. His, in the final couple of years there of his career as a quarterback, with the Steelers and all that. And, it just seems like somebody that it's not a gimmick. It's not just, let's see what this guy, what you're getting in a guy like Byron Leftwich. This is going to be somebody that's going to try to build you, a legitimate NFL offense and a legitimate, NFL, I don't want to say program because that's a college term, but, you're going to build something at the NFL level with that guy as opposed to Nick Sirianni where you're just come on, are we for real? What are we doing? This guy, stop. He's a stunad. We have a term in the Northeast for guys like him. He's a stunad, right? He just is. Dude, he was ready to fight. He was ready to fight the guy that threw a bouquet of flowers at him. Oh my God, my new favorite person in Philly. I love that guy more than the dude that threw popcorn on Russell Westbrook. Okay, maybe it's the same guy. It must be. Hey, throwing popcorn on Russell Westbrook and throwing flowers at Nick Sirianni. I wouldn't be surprised if it's the same dude. Just as this is going to be his new thing. He's just going to throw shit at people. Come to Philly events and throw shit at people. But yeah, Bieniemy, I don't know. I'd rather have Byron Leftwich. I really would. I think he's been groomed for it's not just Brady. Leftwich was good before Brady got there. You know what I'm saying? When you look at what that Tampa Bay offense was
and that Sixers game does coming in 118, 113, fourth straight loss without Joel Embiid.
I mean, Bieniemy, what is so impressive? I mean, you're never going to convince me of any that there's anybody Andy Reid is what makes Andy Reid offenses go. Okay, we've had this argument for years and years and years. There's it's an Andy Reid assistant, and just like every other Andy Reid assistant, they're a puppet to the actual puppet master himself, which is Andy Reid. Andy Reid's going to be in the Hall of Fame, so anybody that coaches under Andy Reid is obviously going to look much better because that's what happens when you coach for Hall of Famers. But this idea that look how good of that's like saying that we use this argument with all the defensive coordinators that have come out of New England. And none of them have been any good with the exception of maybe Brian Flores, but even he's the Dolphins stink this year, so maybe we were a little bit ahead of ourselves on that one too. We all know that Bill Belichick is the reason why those, it's then literally it might even be Bill Belichick and Josh McDaniels sort of thing. But any defensive coordinator or defensive guy that comes through the Patriots is let's give you the guy Matt Patricia that coached Matt Patricia. I so fucking brilliant. That guy's so fucking awful. Has no idea what he's doing. Completely in over his head. And he was given so much credit for the defensive success in New England. And it just wasn't the case. How many times do we have to see that case play out with Andy Reid guys before we go, yeah, you know what? It's always Andy that's the reason, for their success and not them. It's not like Eric Bieniemy walked into that Kansas City, into the building there, at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City and went, hey, Andy, did you know about this, and this offensive concept? And Andy was like, oh, my God, I've never seen such a thing. Please explain to me how that works. And then next thing you know, they were running these awesome offensive type of things because Eric Bieniemy came up with it. And Andy Reid was like, oh, I've never seen such a thing. That's just ridiculous. And now the Chiefs offense, and everything with what happened to their running game? Eric Bieniemy used to be the running back at Colorado back in the day when they won a national championship. They can't even run the ball efficiently anymore. So,
all right, brother, it's just about time.
He was a hard nose. I'm with you there, Marcus. I like your point there. I'm with you. I just like Leftwich more. Although if you're him, why the hell do you leave Tampa? Why would you leave that situation? Fuck everybody.
Yeah. But says the bench was pathetic too.
Whose bench?
I guess the whole bench. But as we get ready to hop onto this next segment here, real quick, gonna introduce our guest for this afternoon. CFFC Bantamweight, one half of this upcoming co-main event, the 10-4 Demond the Diamond Blackshear. What's up, my friend?
What's up? What's up? How you doing?
We're having some fun here tonight. You know, Zach had some technical difficulties early on the show, so he got all his curtain ranting and raving out the way. So, you know what I mean?
Don't you just hate technology? Like, really, it's so fucking stupid. It's designed to make our lives easier, and it does nothing but fucking make it harder. Like, what is wrong with it?
All the time.
Well, I say it all the time, but obviously,
Well, that's just because you're old, Steven. You don't, you know.
Dude, just because I'll be like, what, 41 at the end of this month? I'm not that old.
Nah.
But before I get too far into it, let me before I get too far into it, let me get our this interview is sponsored by Dr. Paul Vidal at Specialized Physical Therapy, two locations at Cherry Hill and Burlington. He's our doc. Now let's make him yours. Again, let's hop back into this interview. Mr. Blackshear, obviously, big one coming up this coming week. CFFC 103 got that title on the line. You've been so close at it. At that particular title, 1 and 2, you're knocking on that 3-letter door real soon. I know. Obviously, if you get an exclamation point on this coming fight, you might get ring.
Yeah, that's the goal, man. I put on the performance. I don't see them denying me. I don't see them denying me at all. I fought the top guys. I fought guys inside the UFC. Currently, I'm right there, man. I know where my skill level really lies, and I'm right there. I just got to put on the performance, get this title, and get that.
And not just that, like you've also took in short notice fights. You know, took a fight in Bellator. You know, was successful there. It's just is getting everything to line up and get that run put together and get it in front of the right people at the right time. I say like it's crazy. Like people say it on a consistent basis. Timing in MMA is all just as important as the performance itself.
Yeah, it is absolutely.
You know, obviously, you know, you gotta be patient. You gotta make sure you stay busy, you keep your weight right, and things of that nature. You know, obviously, you know, we just seen tonight. You know, they had Lee Leston. She hadn't fought in the 3 years and with medical conditions kept her along. Obviously, that another great card tonight. You know, main event. You know, we had some local guys on it. Got some local guys coming back on it again in a few weeks. One of your former opponents. A guest of mine here over A2D, you know, Pat Sabatini's getting in there. He'll be back there next week. You're getting ready to get back on it. You guys had a close decision. It is what now? Obviously, you know, you got a tough test with your opponent coming up at CFFC 103. What is how are you thinking that this one plays out? Are you just one of the one that kind of let how the fight goes kind of play out, or do you have like an envision of how this fight plays out in your head?
Nah, he doesn't have a lot of information out there. He's fought for King of the Cage. He had a fast little knockout against a jiu-jitsu guy, his last CFFC fight, and he has some Boston fights online. So there's really not too much homework I can do on this guy. My skill sets are, I'm prepared for anybody that they can put in front of me, right? So I'm always just fighting myself. I'm always preparing for like a better me. Yeah, but I'm gonna go in there. I'm just gonna display my skill sets. I think I see it, and then in the second round, TKO.
No, see, when you came on, I was like, I don't know who this guy is, but I sensed there was a certain type of swagger that came with you when you step in into the ring to fight somebody. Is that like a true thing? Like you got like this swagger or something that like kind of like you like that's just part of your character in this image that you kind of like try to like portray as you build this fight image? Is that something like I feel like some fighters like it's one of those things that helps when they build that intimidating image.
This is something I've been working on, and I'm steady working on. Is just carrying a certain energy going into the fight. I've been prepping for this last year. I've been at Jackson Winks. I'm training 24/7, 365, and I just been working and visualizing affirmations. I'm doing everything I can do. Cold showers, cold baths. I'm grinding hard. I'm running the hills. I'm running in the mountains. I'm fucking hitting pads every day. I'm working the bag. I'm sparring the right people. I'm getting tested. So I'm ready just to walk in there and just show what I got. You know what I mean? And I'm put on a performance. Like I don't plan on going in there trying to hug to win. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these guys do. I'm going in there. I'm putting on the performance. I'm getting that call.
Yeah, man. As you just mentioned, you're out of your element there. You're over there at Winks, right?
Yeah.
How long have you had that connection, or is it something you just started with this camp?
I just started. No, not with this camp, but I've been here for about a year now. I've had about 4 fights all together with these guys. Getting used to the coaches. And just building up a relationship with these guys, and it's been a journey, and I'm grateful for it, and I'm grateful for all the coaches and all the teammates that's been pushing me.
So you like being down there in New Mexico, getting ready for your fights before you heading out there now. Obviously, like you said, you've had about a year in there. That you said your last 4 has been there. You're starting to get accustomed to everything. Like obviously, when you're in that new environment, especially being something like that, it's always kind of a cool experience at first. But now you're starting to get used to it, get used to everybody. So are you starting to see the growth in your game, or you as a fighter? Like what are some of these people who may have not have seen you over the last year? Someone who may just like, oh yeah, I know, I've seen them fight, but someone who hasn't really caught it, maybe something that they haven't seen from you before. Will they be able to see something come this coming weekend?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So everybody should tune in. They're going to see a different. They're going to see a show for sure. I'm gonna go in there and you're going to see a fight. I'm gonna put it on them like from bell to bell.
I definitely can't wait for this one. Obviously, Cage Fury is always one of the premier. I can't even really call them a regional promotion anymore, just because they're not on the region anymore. Rob's got them guys putting on shows all over the place, all over the country. But one of these things is like what he was talking about, like we talk about showmanship and things of that nature. I always talk about the mental game, mental preparation. Sometimes the littlest thing could be thrown off, could be almost catastrophic for a fighter. Sometimes, obviously, some people have the mental stability to overcome whatever obstacles are thrown them, but sometimes it's the littlest thing could go wrong in a day or a night to kind of throw the whole thing off. When you get into your mental mindset, is it you're just having fun and getting ready to unleash everything, or is it just like you have to be in a specific mindset, game set?
I like to try to get myself in a certain mindset, but at the end of the day, it's just business, and I'm going in there to perform. I have a mission to do, so all the emotions and everything goes out the window. It's time to get a job done, and that's what I plan on doing.
Listen, I definitely can't wait for this one, man.
I like the
What was that, Demond?
Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, y'all definitely tune in. I plan on. I don't want this to go to the judges. And man,
Listen, I don't think any fighter wants to. When we see what judging happens anymore, like seriously, when you look at what happened with judging anymore, like I don't know any fighter who actually, what it would like. Even if you're a wrestler anymore, how do you really want to take a game plan and go to the judges? Because considering there's no. You can't guarantee anything. You could sit there and, you could be beating the guy up in the feet, but you're going back and forth on the ground. Next thing you know, it's from this guy's backyard, and he winds up getting it 2 to 3 the other way, and you wind up home less money. You're down on your rank and everything else. It's just because the referees, he's sitting there, looking at the ring girls. He's, paying more. Paying more attention to X, Y, and Z going on.
It had nothing to do with the ring girls, Steven. It ain't the ring girls, but come on, let's be honest. The dude from Eastern Europe definitely made some mafia threats and maybe threw funneled a little bit of mafia money, in that direction. It was like, hey, you get the scores going in my way. You never know, but I'm convinced that boxing, MMA, all that, that's dirty like that, like life and death type dirty.
I mean, I just think when it comes to our judging, we should have kind of like the same thing that we have with our referee. Like there's things you have to go through, like something like it's just always it's so subjective per state to state, even country to country. It's just crazy.
If we're speaking of technology, do either one of you guys think that computer judging is a possibility in a sport like MMA or boxing, with the idea of, we got the CompuBox and things like that obviously out there.
But you don't want to just go off of numbers alone, because sometimes the numbers don't tell you the whole story of a fight. You can be at a
whole computer system, kind of like how college football is now.
I would never want to take the human element. I would never want to take the human element out of it. But go ahead, Damon.
The numbers should be a part of it.
Numbers should, but I don't think it should be the whole thing. Like you should be overall held objective to a human.
You definitely should use a card. You know what I mean? You should use the statistics.
And I also think we should have open scoring for all fights. I think open scoring would help a lot of fights. It would make them a lot more fun too.
He's looking for the finish. You do need that human element, but
I'm with the open scoring though. I think we need that open scoring for all fights.
What if you took?
Yeah. Then you got
what if you took the human scoring?
Fighting for, they're like, oh shit, I'm down. They gotta step on.
It's either you're gonna get a turnaround in the fight, or you're gonna get a fantastic finish. I think it plays well into everything. But again, these are things. Hopefully, we could see the sport grow, evolve.
If you took the human away,
the human part, yeah. I don't know whose connection it might be Devon's, but
Devon.
Yeah, you're a little bit choppy. I guess my thing was, what if we took the human scoring, like human judges, combine that with some type of computer scoring and kind of came up with some type of cumulative score that was a combination of the two. I mean, would that not be a way? Because how many times have you watched a boxing match or something like that, and then watched the judges' scores, and then looked at the fight cast and said,
Let me go, Zach.
Extend the scoring system too.
I just break it.
Point.
I think Damon's breaking up real bad here. Let's see if we can give him a minute to catch back up.
Yeah, that's the hard thing, because we don't know where he's at, what he's heard us say.
And technology strikes again.
See? Exactly. No, but we'll either get him back on at some point. He'll come back on tonight. We'll get him on whatever.
Yeah, we'll get it straightened out in a second. We'll see how it goes.
We'll figure it all out. But I kind of that was why I posed that question, because I felt like his opinion as a fighter would be something that would probably be the best opinion of all of them. Because I feel obviously as fans, we watch it and go man, what I just watched and what the CompuBox numbers say don't match up to what maybe a human judge said. But as a fighter,
how do they kind of feel about that? What if you took a human judge and maxed it up?
He's still
with,
there, so we'll see if it catches up in a second.
And combined it, like how do fighters feel about that whole process? What would on their end make the scoring system better?
I hear him like clicking in every few seconds or so.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to leave too much dead air because it's always weird when you have dead air.
yeah, I was just trying to give him a minute to see if that'll pop back in. So, but I mean, my thing about it, like I was saying, like when we talk about that aspect of it, like I don't want to keep the human element out of it. Like, granted, and that's not what I'm saying. Like, let me finish that part of it. I still think you should have some type of numbers put into his or her hands, so that they have other than their own eyes something to tell them. And then we lose Zach. That's even funnier. Something to tell them one way or another. That hey, this one's losing per this way, or and now Zach's on the bottom.
Okay. Are we all
the
connection's good now? Can you all hear me?
Wait.
Yeah, I'm still.
He's here. It's still pretty choppy though.
We got you though.
Y'all y'all in and out. It might be my Wi-Fi. I don't know.
All right. Before, while we still got you, Damon, I want to try to give the floor to you for 1 sec. Anyone you would like to thank, shoot out your teammates, social media sites, any sponsors you might have, any charities you're working with, anything like that. The time is yours, my friend. And let's see if he catches that.
He'll get us.
Yeah. I just want to give him a chance to kind of give his shot, his goodbyes before we try to just push him out. Since he got us back there for a second. Right there he is.
I just want to shout out my teammates, my coaches, everybody at Jackson Wings MMA Academy, helping me. Sponsor this. My man.
That's rough. Let's see if we can clean it up at the end to say goodbye.
I'm sure his manager is going to love that.
Yeah.
I want to thank my manager, Kang. Yeah. He really appreciates. Man, your manager is going to be like, yeah, great interview. Like,
no, I'll give a shout out to his management who hooked us up with the interview. Big shout out to Lamont for hooking us up with Damon tonight. Again, if Damon, if you can still hear me, man, best of skill for you on the upcoming fight, man. Hopefully you get that ring. Hopefully, get the belt and get you in there in the UFC. We see you continue to shine and do your thing, my friend. If you can still hear us, I'm gonna pull you out now. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, your evening, and talk to you soon.
Make sure you text him and tell him that we weren't being assholes, because I really feel like I was actually trying to present him with a legitimate question.
Yeah,
and we were so fucked up with the timing of everything that it all sounded so fucked. What else is gonna get fucked tonight, Steven? You know what? Can I get fucked tonight? Can you get fucked tonight? At least if we both get fucked tonight, right? At least that'll make the night worth it. Good Lord. Ugh.
Don't say something like that out loud, because you're gonna tempt her to do something while we're on air, and then that's the end of that.
That's the beginning of all that. We will become like you. You want to talk about flagship shows? You're looking at the new flagship show. If that happens, right here.
Oh my God.
The flagship show of A2D. Is Tom still listening? I'm in trouble. I'm gonna. Good thing my phone's not working. What happened? What? He has Brandy's number though too. I'm fucked.
Shut you down real quick. Nah, but definitely looking forward to Damon's fight next weekend. Yeah, like you said, he's got a kid. I think he's only got like 1 or 2 losses like Damon, but not as quite as many fights or top level prospects. When you look up Damon, he's like ranked. I think like the inside the top 20 as far as bantamweight's considered in the U.S. Upper Northeast, he's like he's in the top 10. Inside of his home state, he's top 5. Northwest, he's within the top 10. So it's like he's banging on that door. He's one of these guys who's going to be in the UFC within the next year. So make sure you guys pay attention to somebody like Damon, man. He's definitely legit. And the fact that we're sitting there having a conversation with this guy, he's from the upper Northeast quadrant here, and he's out there in New Mexico working with Team Jackson Wink. Listen, man, he's been out there a year. Listen, I can't wait to see what he's going to do in this next fight. He's already been knocking on the door. Before that hand. In the last year, that's where he's been. Can't wait to see what else that they've been able to mold him into. This is gonna be fun.
You mean like
what up now, Zach?
There was a baby with a beanie hat on the football game that was getting interviewed, and the wifey was a big fan of it.
So Maxey was 24 for 15 with 2 rebounds and three assists tonight.
Kid's a stud. Kid's an absolute. And I tried to tell people that last year. Like, it's not that hard to use your eyes and watch this shit, Steven. It's just not.
And Julian was talking about when he said the bench was pathetic. Was pathetic. He was talking about the Sixers tonight.
Well, because the entire bench was starting. Like, what are you going to do? What you mean? When half your bench is starting, your bench isn't going to be very good. They pulled in the assistant cowboy to fucking be the 12th guy. You're like, not even the actual cowboy, the assistant cowboy. Man, times are tough.
It is rough.
But we talk about we've talked about like the idea of like the human factor in all sports, right? Here we talk about it all the time because obviously I'm a baseball umpire, right? So when you hear me talk about it with baseball, I understand this idea like. All these people that want the automatic strike zone and things like that. I always tell people, be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for because when you have pitches bouncing in the dirt and they're being called strikes because the automated strike zone says that the breaking ball caught the bottom of the zone even though it bounced in the dirt and the umpire is forced to call it a strike and everybody that's watching the goddamn game on TV goes, oh, that's not good for baseball. Be careful what you wish for. Sports always on all ends going to have human error as a huge factor in it. Players make mistakes, coaches make mistakes, officials will make mistakes. That's just the way the game works. But I always hear all this talk about replacing umpires with robots. And why not the idea of just combining the two and kind of coming up with like a more efficient way to officiate these sporting events? By being able to combine the idea of what the human element of officiating is bringing you with what the computers tell. Like, for example, when these judges, when they judge a boxing match, they don't have those CompuBox numbers available to them between rounds, do they?
No.
Yeah. So, like, why not? Like, when you think about it, like, really, when you just think about it, why is that not information they're literally being given every single round before they make that decision of what, like this should be something they should literally have a screen next to them as they're watching this boxing match play out that shows the punches that landed, the yada yada, whatever, something that gives them an idea of look, this is what the CompuBox numbers say compared to what I thought my eyes were showing me, and yada yada, whatever, and give it a way to be able to combine the two to say, okay, there's a happy medium here we're able to find, because you can't tell me that some of these judges that are like, like the Mayweather, Alvarez fight where Alvarez won, or Alvarez, it was a draw. The one judge had it as a draw, and you're just like, how do you have this fight a draw? Like, he won 1 or 2 rounds tops, and you've got it a draw. Like, how did we get here? You can't convince me that person's not going to at least change their opinion a little bit if they had all these numbers available to them to be able to see, what they say. And I've heard boxing announcers say firsthand that the judges sitting ringside, their angle is a lot different than what all of us see on TV and yada, 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 yada. So what they might see as a landed punch or a blocked punch or whatever, it can change depending on what, it's different than what we see and all that. So it's not 1975 anymore. This isn't Muhammad Ali fighting George Foreman. Like, we have the ability to figure out a way to combine all of this shit to make it, where we can come to the best judging decision that we can possibly get.
I'm gonna real quick change gears real fast, because guess what? I love to hit the damn like and subscribe button, but because premium members, it's giveaway time. Didn't get anyone to claim the jersey a few weeks ago, so guess what? Told Rafferty just hop back in the back. He's gonna freaking spin the wheel for our premium members, and we got a whole bunch of stuff lined up for you guys.
He actually took time away from his video games to do something like
what? Ralphie always got time for us, man. That's insulting. Leave that.
But Ralphie's got because we all know Ralphie's got like a 2K tournament at 10:30.
So that means he still got a hand. Spin the wheel. Let's see what everyone gets.
No, he's going to refuse to spin it now. I thought he's going to go on strike. I miss you, Ralphie. You got to come on with us every once in a while.
All right, this is the same. Spin it again. This is the same guy that won last week.
Yeah, he doesn't. Fuck him. He doesn't get to win twice in a row.
Senpai, he didn't freaking claim it last week, Ralphie. I'm gonna.
You know what, Ralphie? All right, I'm claiming the prize this week, Steven. Whatever you're giving away,
no, he threw us back in there. Thank God.
Damn it.
Thank you, Ralphie.
Oh,
Mike Parker. Mike Parker.
You know what, Spidey? You know what?
Mike Parker. What's wrong with Mike, brother? Mike winds up winning the jersey. All right.
Oh, Spidey's got a long history here at A2D. We've got a long history of playing A2D, playing poker together on the old, the old app. The Poker Go app when we, during the pandemic. Oh man, I've taken a lot of his money. He's taken a lot of my money. Oh, hey.
So he winds up with the Otis Nixon jersey. So make sure.
Yeah, he'll like that. He's an old school guy. Like Spidey will love an Otis Nixon jersey. That's badass.
All right, so make sure you have him reach out to me. I'll get that sent out to him. So make sure you guys are like, subscribe, and definitely be a premium member, because you don't just win the giveaways. That's not it. That's not it. He still get the other perks. The exclusive giveaways, fan shows, the Money Pop Boys, Big Willie and the fam always giving us all the hookups for our betting needs, like degenerates like this man next to me.
Oh yeah,
can't get enough of it.
Hey. My shit's about to hit, so I don't want to hear it. I ain't hearing nothing. All I need tomorrow is I need the Bills, the somebody else's, and the somebody else's to win. I can't remember who else I bet on tomorrow. Oh my God, I can't remember.
All right, yo. As we're getting ready to wrap this one up. Again, guys, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're one of our premium members, and if you already are, tell your aunt, tell your uncle, tell the freaking mailman. Like I said,
the degenerate that you know.
We still got another few weeks to see if we can hit 7K before the end of the month, because I want to hook you guys up with that LeGarrette Blunt signed Super Bowl jersey that I got last month.
There you go. Tell your golfing buddies, tell all your family members.
jump on Grandmom's phone. Make sure you subscribe from her account too. Do what you gotta do, people.
Make sure you tell your neighbor with the fat ass. Tell everybody. Sure.
Yeah, tell everyone, my friends. Other than that,
Tell every degenerate you know.
Exactly. Make sure you guys are staying tuned in. We'll be back next week. Not sure what we got planned there for you. No matter what, it's going to be fun. It's going to keep
any idea what we have planned for you. All we know is it's going to be out of control wildness. That's all we can promise you.
Exactly. But other than that, make sure you guys are tuning in. We got in this very ring, guys should be hopping on here in a few minutes, if not now.
They're better looking, Steven, but they are nowhere near as entertaining. I'm just saying.
It don't matter.
The entertainment.
I don't care how I look. The only person that cares how I look is freaking 2 feet away from me. So
we provide the entertainment, and I'm with you. I don't give a fuck how I look either. We provide the entertainment. Andy Ritter, he's a stone cold stud muffin, and he provides the good looks here at HUV Radio. So
gotta give Andy his love, guys. But with that being said,
ladies, I believe he's single. Ladies.
That's gonna wrap up this week's episode of the Weekly Roundup. I'm Steve. He's Zach. Make sure you guys are staying up to date with everything. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff.